Somewhere, a paintress writes a number, and everyone that age turns to dust. A Monkey King claws out from under a mountain. An entire kingdom rises into the sky. These aren't just games, they're worlds that steal your sleep and break your heart. 30 of them. So hit that subscribe button, grab a controller, and let's get lost. Detroit Become Human. There's a moment early on where an android holds a little girl's hand and you catch yourself wondering, is that love or just code? Detroit Become Human never stops asking that question. You live 3 lives in a rain-slicked future Detroit. Kara, a housekeeper who breaks her programming to protect a child. Connor, a police android built to hunt deviants who starts hesitating before the trigger. And Marcus, a caretaker who loses everything and rises to lead a revolution. Here's the part that got me. Your choices actually cut. Main characters can die for good. One wrong answer in an interrogation, 1 second of mercy on a rooftop, and the whole story bends around it. 2 playthroughs can end in stories that barely overlap. The performances sell every flicker of doubt on faces that aren't supposed to feel, and by the credits, you're not thinking about androids anymore. You're thinking about what you were willing to sacrifice to keep one person safe.
Your order for 8700 Android has been registered. Cyberpunk thanks you for your purchase.
Cover me while I back man down. I repeat, man down, requesting immediate evac.
Life is strange. Imagine you could rewind any moment, take back the wrong words, undo the mistake, save the person you couldn't save. Now imagine learning that every fix has a price. That's Life is Strange. You're Max Caulfield, a shy photography student back in her sleepy hometown of Arcadia Bay, who discovers she can turn back time after witnessing something terrible in a school bathroom. At first, it's harmless. Nail the answer in class, dodge the awkward moment. Then Chloe crashes back into her life. Her old best friend, blue-haired and burning with anger over everything Max missed, and their reunion becomes the beating heart of the whole story. Every dialogue choice ripples forward in ways you can't predict, and the game keeps whispering the same cruel question. Can you actually fix anything, or does the storm come anyway? The indie soundtrack, the golden hour lighting, that lazy autumn atmosphere, it all lulls you right before the story starts twisting the knife. By the final choice, rewinding is the last thing you'll want to do. Some journeys break your heart in small towns.
This is cool. In a Wicker Man sort of way. What if I'm secretly a total prodigy at disc golf, but never had the chance to find out? Probably for the best, honestly.
The Walking Dead Season 1. Keep your hair short. It's such a small piece of advice, and by the end of this game, it'll wreck you. The Walking Dead Season 1 stars Lee Everett, a convicted man being driven to prison when the world ends, who stumbles into a backyard and finds a little girl named Clementine hiding in her treehouse. From that moment, nothing else matters. The zombies are dangerous, sure, but the real threats are hunger, cold, and the survivors in your own group tearing at each other's throats. Every choice runs through one filter. What does this teach Clementine? Who you feed when there isn't enough food, who you save when you can only save one. Whether you tell the truth when a lie is kinder, she's always watching and the game remembers. Telltale strips the gameplay down to conversations and split-second decisions on purpose, because the wait is the point. By the final episode, you're not playing a survival story anymore. You're playing a father's last lessons, and the ending stands among the most devastating in gaming. The Wolf Among Us. The big bad wolf lights a cigarette and climbs the stairs to another domestic dispute. That's the pitch. Fairy tale characters hiding in 1980s New York, and their sheriff is the monster from every bedtime story trying to be better. The Wolf Among Us has Bigby Wolf keeping order in Fabletown, a hidden community where Snow White runs the bureaucracy and legends live in poverty. When a woman turns up murdered on his doorstep, the case cracks open everything rotten under the surface. The noir atmosphere is flawless, neon purples and comic book shadows, jazz on rainy streets, everyone lying about something. And Bigby is the perfect center. Everyone remembers what he was, so every choice tests whether he's changed. Play the calm detective or let the wolf slip out. The fables notice, and it shapes how the whole community treats you. The dialogue crackles, the interrogations tighten like a noose, and one mid-season twist genuinely floored me.
So, everyone hates me.
Nah, I'm just giving you shit.
I'm doing my best here.
Clearly that is not true, what with the selfishness with the bourbon. But, no, hate's the wrong word. They fear you more than anything. You ate a lot of people back in your day.
I thought we were all supposed to have a fresh start here. I can't change the past.
Well, you can't change people's memories either. Look, I'm not saying it's fair, but it's real. People are scared of you. I mean, look at your hands. Who'd you get in a fight with? A fable, right? I'm sure you're not going around punching Mondays.
I was doing my job, believe it or not.
Tales from the Borderlands, a corporate ladder climber with a robot arm and a con artist who lies like breathing walk into a deal that goes catastrophically wrong. What follows is the funniest story games have ever told. Tales from the Borderlands splits you between Reese, a Hyperion middle manager with delusions of grandeur, and Fiona, a Pandoran grifter chasing one last score. Both narrating the same disaster after the fact, and both absolutely lying about parts of it. That framing device is genius. The stories contradict each other, embellish wildly, and the truth keeps slipping through the cracks in ways that pay off beautifully. A $10 million deal goes sideways, a vault key enters the picture, and suddenly this mismatched crew is stumbling toward the biggest prize on Pandora with every gun on the planet behind them. The jokes land constantly. A finger gun shootout that plays completely straight might be the hardest I've ever laughed at a game, but the sucker punch is that you actually grow to love these idiots. Found family, real losses, and a finale that earns every tear between the laughs.
Fiona? What, is there some sort of radiation leak I don't know about? So, who are you?
I ask the questions.
Okay, then, do you mind asking yourself who you are? Ow! What the hell?
Tell me about the Gordis Project.
Is that what this is about? Look, Gordis is bad business. If you want a real hot investment, I am on the ground floor of some property on Ed. Okay.
Don't be a smartass.
What remains of Edith Finch? Picture a house where every bedroom is sealed like a shrine. Beds still made, toys still out, because everyone who slept in them is gone. That's the Finch house, and you're Edith, the last one left, coming home to learn how her family died. Every locked room hides a story, and every story plays completely differently. One second, you're a little girl dreaming she's a cat leaping between branches. Then you're on a swing that goes a little too high. And then comes the cannery. You're slicing fish with one hand while a daydream slowly swallows the screen. And it becomes one of the most quietly devastating things I've ever played. You know from the start that every tale ends in death. Somehow the game makes each one about the life instead. Strange, funny, glowing little lives cut short. It lasts barely 2 hours. It stays with you for years. No combat, no fail state, just a family remembered one room at a time, and an ending that lands soft and heavy all at once.
Now, as a 17-year-old, I knew exactly what those words were. I was afraid of the house. I hoped the key might unlock the front door. It didn't. Looking in, I felt like the house itself had been waiting for me.
Firewatch. The game opens with a choice you can't win, a quiet text crawl about falling in love, then slowly losing her to an illness that steals her memory first. By the time Henry takes a job as a fire lookout in the Wyoming wilderness, summer of 1989, you know exactly what he's running from. His only lifeline is Delilah, a voice crackling from a distant tower, sharp, funny, a little broken herself. And that's the whole game, walking golden hour trails and talking. Somehow, it's riveting. The conversations feel real in a way games almost never manage. Flirty one minute, painfully honest the next. Then someone ransacks your tower. A silhouette watches from the ridge. Notes appear quoting your private radio calls word for word, and paranoia creeps in like smoke. Is something really out there, or are two lonely people telling each other a story? The answer lands quieter than you expect, and that's exactly the point. It's about running away and learning that you can't.
Make sure they stop with this shit. Get going. You'll probably need a rope to get down the shale between you and the lake, if I remember right. There should be one in the supply box on the way. The code is 1234. It's actually that for all of them.
Secure.
Shut up.
To the moon. An old man is dying and his last wish makes no sense. He wants to go to the moon, but he can't remember why. That single mystery carries one of the most moving stories ever told in a game. To the Moon follows two doctors, Eva and Neil, whose company grants dying wishes by rewriting memories, letting patients believe they lived the life they wanted before the end. To plant Johnny's wish, they have to travel backward through his memories, from his final days toward childhood, hunting for the reason behind the moon. And the deeper they go, the more the story becomes about River, his late wife, the origami rabbits she folded obsessively, the lighthouse, and the things Johnny never understood about the woman he loved until it was far too late. The gameplay is simple, just exploring memories and solving light puzzles, but that piano soundtrack will absolutely dismantle you. It's barely 4 hours long. It asks what a life is worth if the best parts get forgotten, and answers with one broadcast that says everything. Until then. It starts with the most ordinary thing in the world, a teenager who forgot his homework, texting friends before class. And somehow that ordinariness becomes the most devastating trick this game pulls. Until then follows Mark Bora, a high schooler in the Philippines just drifting through life after a mysterious global catastrophe called The Ruling. Group chats, bad grades, crushes, piano practice he keeps avoiding. You scroll his phone, reply to messages, live inside his small routines until they feel like yours. Then he meets Nicole, a girl who seems to know him, and the cracks appear. People remember things differently. Someone vanishes from a photo. Tiny wrongnesses pile up like static under the slice of life warmth, and the mystery tightens so gradually you don't notice the grip until it's crushing. The pixel art is gorgeous, the writing is painfully human, funny group chat chaos one scene, quiet heartbreak the next, and the final hours recontextualize everything, landing an ending about memory, guilt, and second chances that left me staring at the ceiling. The Last of Us. Part 1. 20 minutes. That's all this game needs to break you before the title screen even appears. The Last of Us drops you into a world eaten alive by a fungal outbreak where the infected are terrifying but people are worse. You're Joel, a smuggler who lost everything the night it all fell apart, and now he's stuck escorting a 14-year-old girl named Ellie across a ruined America. She might be the key to a cure. He doesn't care. At first, every bullet matters here. You're crafting shivs from scraps, holding your breath while a clicker stalks past in the dark, choosing between a health kit and a Molotov because you can't carry both. But the survival stuff isn't the point. It's the quiet moments. Ellie asking about the world before, a terrible joke book pulled out at the worst possible time. One scene with giraffes that says more than any cutscene ever could. By the end, the question isn't whether they survive. It's what Joel is willing to burn down to keep her.
Hey, consolidated the crates in the south warehouse. Supplies are locked up.
Good. Let's do another once over and then head out. Getting close to curfew.
What about Robert? Who's he holding up with?
Don't kill me, man! Please, please! I hear him! This way!
Uncharted 4, A Thief's End. There's a scene where Nathan Drake sits alone in his attic, dusty trophies all around him, firing a toy gun at cardboard targets, a man pretending he doesn't miss the life that almost killed him. Then his brother Sam walks through the door, a brother he thought was dead for 15 years. Just like that, retirement's over. Uncharted 4 sends Nate, Sam, and good old Sully chasing the lost pirate treasure of Henry Avery, from an auction heist in Italy to a wild jeep chase across Madagascar to islands the map forgot. The climbing flows like water, the grappling hook turns every cliffside into a playground, and the set pieces, that clock tower, that convoy, are pure adrenaline. But underneath the spectacle, this is a story about lying to the person you love. Every step deeper into the hunt, Nate gambles the life he built with Elena, and the game makes you feel the weight of every lie he tells. It's a farewell that earns its ending. Some adventures go out with fireworks.
You gotta shake that truck! Working on it! Hey, that was clean long. Hey, just wash it again! Hang on! Where the hell are you going? You're the one who said just head down! See, coming through! Well, this is really a great idea, Nate. Do you want to drive? Oh, you're doing just fine. See? I got it. Crap. These guys don't give up. Okay, through here. Oh, stop!
God of War 2018. The god who once tore Olympus apart now stands silent in a Norse forest, cradling his wife's ashes, unable to even hug his own son. That image is the whole game. Kratos is older, quieter, buried under decades of regret, and all his wife asked was for her ashes to be scattered from the highest peak in all the realms. So he sets out with Atreus, a boy who wants his father's approval and gets a grunt of boy instead. Then a stranger knocks on the door, a man who can't feel pain, and their brawl cracks the mountains open. The Leviathan axe might be the best feeling weapon ever made. Throw it, freeze an enemy mid-swing, then call it back thundering into your palm. But the real fight is quieter. A father terrified his son will learn what he used to be. The entire journey plays in one unbroken shot, no camera cuts, so you never step away from these two, and watching that frozen wall between them slowly thaw hits harder than any boss fight.
Be ready!
Spec Ops: The Line. There's a loading screen in this game that quietly asks, "Do you feel like a hero yet?" And by the time you see it, the answer makes your stomach turn. Spec Ops: The Line looks like a standard military shooter. That's the trap. You're Captain Martin Walker, leading a 3-man squad into Dubai after a sandstorm buried the city, searching for a missing battalion and the legendary Colonel Conrad. A simple recon mission. Then you disobey your first order, and the descent begins. Every firefight drags you deeper. Choices with no good option, radio chatter that stops making sense, teammates who start looking at you differently. And then comes the white phosphorus scene. I won't spoil what happens. I'll just say the game forces you to walk through the aftermath of your own actions, slowly, and it changes how you hold a controller. This isn't a power fantasy, it's an interrogation of one, asking why we press forward when everything screams turn back. The shooting itself is ordinary. The story is anything but. War breaks the mind here.
You read me?
Yeah.
Okay?
Do I sound okay? Get your asses down here!
On our way!
A Plague Tale Requiem. She was 15 when she learned to kill to protect her little brother. Now the killing comes easier, and that's what scares her. A Plague Tale Requiem picks up with Amisha and Hugo de Rune chasing a fragile hope. A distant island that might hold a cure for the ancient curse burning in Hugo's blood. For a while, the game even lets you breathe. Sunlight, markets, an ocean. You almost believe they've escaped. Then the rats come back. Not hundreds. Hundreds of thousands, tidal waves of them crashing through streets and swallowing torchlight, and every safe place turns into a memory. You sneak, you sling stones, you use fire and shadow like currency. But Amisha fights more desperately now, and the story keeps asking how much of herself she's willing to lose to keep Hugo breathing. Their bond is the entire game, a sister becoming a weapon, a brother terrified of what he carries inside. It builds to an ending I genuinely won't spoil. Just know it's earned, and it hurts.
Amicia, we have to get inside the chapel. There's no other way. I will! Hugo! No! Go back! Hugo! Nothing now! Stop! Die! They are dead! Everything's collapsing! We must leave! Amicia! Through here! To the sea! Quick!
Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy. Nobody expected much from this one, and then it quietly delivered one of the best stories Marvel's ever put in a game. You play as Peter Quill, Star-Lord, self-appointed leader of a crew that argues like a family stuck in a minivan. Gamora, Drax, Rocket, and Groot, all broke, all bickering, all one bad decision away from disaster. Naturally, they make that bad decision, a get-rich scheme in a forbidden zone that snowballs into a threat swallowing the whole galaxy. The hook is that everyone here is grieving something, and the game takes that seriously. Quill's past, Drax's family, Rocket's scars. Between the constant jokes, it lands moments that genuinely sting. In combat, you fight as Star-Lord, calling the crew's abilities like a conductor, but the real mechanic is talking. Mid-fight huddles, story choices, even letting Rocket win an argument. It all feeds the family dynamic, and the banter reacts to everything. And the soundtrack? Blasting 80s hits while your dysfunctional family saves the universe never gets old.
It's too quick!
I also require the grounding of this renegade! You need to cool off! You flatnards are gonna pay for whatever you're doing to Contraxia!
Your voice is annoying, Ben! Keep it up!
All enemies have a weakness! Gut shots usually work pretty good! And up on the wall! And on the ground as well!
Careful!
Drop it on him! Prepare yourself! Shoot it out with Nova Core! You shouldn't be enjoying this, Market!
Red Dead Redemption 2. Some games make you feel powerful. This one makes you feel time running out. For you, your family, and the whole way of life you know. Red Dead Redemption 2 puts you in the boots of Arthur Morgan, an enforcer for Dutch van der Linde's gang in 1899 when the Wild West is already dying and civilization is closing in like a noose. You rob trains, pull off heists, brawl in muddy streets, but the moments that stick are the quiet ones. Singing around a campfire. A gang member asking Arthur if he's happy. The slow, sick realization that Dutch, the man Arthur would die for, might be leading everyone off a cliff. The world feels alive in a way that's almost scary. Snow crunches, horses build trust, strangers remember your face. And Arthur, man, Arthur might be the best written character to ever hold a revolver. His journey from loyal gun to a man questioning everything is slow, painful, and earned. When the credits roll, you'll sit there in silence.
You can't handle your red eye. You can! You're twice as soaked as me right now.
You're the only one left! Give it up now! I'm unarmed! Give me one reason that I should put a bullet through your head.
Well, all right. Under the pillow on top of my bed. Just take it and get it.
God, pity you. Looks like a nice little business you got going right here. What the hell? Give me all your money now.
Oh, God.
You walk away.
Please, don't kill me.
Money, now. Hand it over. Look at you. A joke.
Yakuza 0. 1 minute you're brawling in a rain-soaked alley over a single square meter of land. The next, you're belting karaoke with your whole chest. And somehow both feel exactly right. Yakuza 0 drops you into Japan in 1988, all neon money and bad decisions. You play two men on a collision course. Kazuma Kiryu, a young Yakuza framed for a murder he didn't commit, trying to clear his name without selling his soul. And Goro Majima, a cabaret manager in exile desperate to earn his way back into the family, pushed into choices that quietly destroy him. Majima's story especially, it starts as a job and becomes the most human thing in the game. The combat is a blast, swap fighting styles mid-brawl, crack a bicycle over a thug's head, but then you'll lose 3 hours running a cabaret club or dancing disco like it's life or death. That's the magic. It's ridiculous and sincere in the same breath, and when the two stories finally lock together, it hits hard. Sometimes one choice defines a whole life. Cyberpunk 2077. You wake up in a landfill with a bullet in your brain and a dead rock legend living in your head. Welcome to Night City. Cyberpunk 2077 makes you V, a merc chasing the one score that changes everything. A prototype chip that promises immortality. The heist goes sideways in the worst way, and suddenly that chip is fused to your skull, slowly overriding you with the ghost of Johnny Silverhand. Rocker, terrorist, legend, played with pure venom and swagger by Keanu Reeves. Every day, a little less of you survives. And here's the thing, Johnny isn't a gimmick. He rides shotgun in your mind, mocking your choices, picking fights, and somewhere along the way, the man erasing you becomes something dangerously close to a friend. Night City is overwhelming in the best way. Chrome and neon on the surface, desperation underneath, side stories that punch harder than most main quests. Your choices steer it all toward endings that range from bittersweet to soul-crushing. It's a story about what you'd trade for more time. The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. A grieving baron offers you a contract. Find his missing wife and daughter. Simple job. Hours later, you're standing in the rain, realizing there are no monsters in this story, just broken people, and nothing you choose will truly fix them. That's The Witcher 3 in a single quest. You're Geralt of Rivia, a monster hunter tracking your adopted daughter Ciri across war-torn kingdoms while a spectral army called the Wild Hunt closes in on her. The world is enormous, plague villages, haunted swamps, cities simmering with hatred, and every muddy crossroads hides a side story better than most games' main plots. Combat makes you prepare like a hunter. Oil your blade for drowners, brew potions, learn a griffin's rhythm before it learns yours. But choices are the real weapon here. Someone you spare in the first act can reshape the ending 20 hours later, and even good intentions curdle. Underneath it all beats one thing: a father who would burn the world for his girl. When they finally reunite, it earns every hour.
Blow yourself! Shut up and fight. Don't be afeared! Oh, you witch fucker! Coronation! Curses! What's casting curses? Skin off. Right, me numbers to work! These hours are cuts hours! Oh, you witch fucker!
Grand Theft Auto 5. A retired bank robber lies to his therapist about why he can't sleep, while across town a kid repossessing cars dreams of something bigger, and out in the desert something feral wakes up in a trailer. Grand Theft Auto 5 weaves 3 lives into one crime saga, and the genius is you can switch between them almost any time, mid-mission, mid-firefight, even mid-chaos. Michael faked his death to escape the life and found the American dream is just a nicer prison. Franklin wants out of the streets before they swallow him. And Trevor is chaos with a pulse, one of the most unhinged characters ever written. Every scene he's in feels genuinely dangerous, because his rage comes from a betrayal he doesn't even know about yet. Together, they pull heists you actually plan. Pick the crew, pick the approach, loud and explosive or silent and slick. Los Santos itself is a sun-bleached satire of everything from yoga to talk radio, but underneath the mayhem sits a story about old debts and whether friendship survives the truth, building to one final choice I won't spoil.
Oh my god!
It's just a car, baby!
The Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild. You wake up in a cave with no memories, no shirt, and a voice begging you to remember her. Then you step outside, the music swells, and all of Hyrule stretches to the horizon, and every inch of it is yours. Breath of the Wild threw out 100 years of Zelda rules. No locked path, no hand-holding. The game shows you Ganon swirling around a distant castle and quietly says, "Go whenever you're ready." You can literally sprint there in the first hour if you're brave or stupid enough. Instead, you'll climb every tower, cook dubious mushroom skewers, solve shrine puzzles with nothing but magnetism, bombs, and physics that reward pure mischief. Link failed 100 years ago. That's the wound underneath everything. The champions died, Zelda has held back the darkness alone for a century. And every recovered memory shows you the girl behind the legend, cracking under a destiny that won't answer her. Finding those memories scattered across meadows and ruins hits harder than any cutscene sequence. It redefined what open worlds could be. Sleeping dogs. Deep cover has one rule: don't forget which side you're on. Wei Shen breaks it a little more every day, and watching it happen is the whole hook. Sleeping Dogs makes you an undercover cop infiltrating the Sun On Yi Triad in Hong Kong, and it nails that razor wire tension. The men you're betraying save your life. They call you brother, celebrate your wins, trust you completely, and the story keeps count of every promise you break on both sides of the badge, until even Wei stops knowing where the mission ends and the man begins. The combat is straight out of a martial arts flick. Brutal counters, bone-crunching environmental takedowns, slamming a thug into a fish tank or worse. Gunfights explode in slow-motion dives, and the car chases through neon-soaked streets feel ripped from Hong Kong cinema. Between missions, the city pulls you in. Night markets, karaoke bars, street races, pork buns. It's alive in a way few open worlds manage, and the story cuts deeper than anyone expects going in. Wei hides who he really is to survive. Mafia Definitive Edition. One favor. That's all it takes. A cab driver helps two wounded gangsters escape a hit, and his quiet life is over before the sun comes up. Mafia Definitive Edition rebuilds the classic from the ground up, and it plays like a gangster film you get to live inside. You're Tommy Angelo in 1930s Lost Heaven, pulled into the Salieri family one job at a time, and the brilliance is how it seduces you the same way it seduces Tommy. The money's good, the suits are sharp, the family feels like family. Then the jobs get darker, and the game never lets you forget these are murderers, no matter how warmly they smile at dinner. You'll race getaway cars through rain-slick streets, shoot your way out of a botched heist at the docks, sneak through a prison, every mission staged like a scene from a film that knows exactly where it's going. Tommy tells his whole story to a detective in a diner, which means you know it ends badly. You just don't know how badly. Marvel's Spider-Man. 8 years in, and Peter Parker still can't pay his rent. That's the genius of this game. It skips the origin story and gives you a Spider-Man who's great at saving New York and terrible at living in it. Insomniac's web swinging is the best ever put in a game, full stop. Diving off Avengers Tower, skimming inches above taxis, flinging yourself around corners, it never stops feeling incredible. And you'll ignore fast travel completely. The combat flows just as smooth, all acrobatic dodges, web gadgets, and improvised chaos. But the story is where it sneaks up on you. Mr. Negative and a certain doctor Peter idolizes push the city to the brink, and the game slowly tightens the screws on Peter's double life. Aunt May's shelter work, MJ trying to matter on her own terms, a mentor becoming something else. There's a stretch late in the game where being a hero costs Peter everything at once, and the choice he faces in the final hour is the cruelest thing Marvel's put in a game.
That guy's not to mess with. He wants some two Spider-Man. Is this the mosh pit? Great! He's not cold!
Love laying out bullies.
Elden Ring. A golden tree towers over a broken world, and the demigods who shattered it now rot on their thrones, each clutching a piece of power that's driving them insane. Into this walks you, a tarnished, exiled long ago, called back to mend what the shattering destroyed and become Elden Lord. Or die trying, roughly 400 times. Elden Ring is from Software finally handed an open world, with lore built alongside George R.R. Martin, and the freedom changes everything. Stuck on a boss? Ride Torrent toward that glowing horizon, find a catacomb, a dragon sleeping on a ruin, a sorcerer academy sealed behind a star, come back stronger, or find something that breaks the fight wide open. The lands between never stops unfolding. An entire city underground beneath a sky of false stars, invisible paths, characters like Ronnie and Bled whose quests spiral into the game's best storylines if you dig. And the bosses, Radahn's meteor-swallowing spectacle, Millennia's blade, are legends for a reason. It tells its story in whispers and item text, trusting you to piece it together.
The true Lord.
Black myth Wukong. The Monkey King already won every battle heaven threw at him, so heaven waited for peace, then buried him under a mountain of stone. Black myth Wukong begins generations later, with you as the destined one, a nameless monkey climbing out of obscurity to gather the 6 relics of a fallen legend and finish a rebellion the gods thought they'd ended. Every chapter drags you through Chinese mythology at its most beautiful and most terrifying. Snow-choked temples, webbed caverns, courts of scheming immortals. And the bosses come at you like a flood. Ambitious wolf generals, tiger monks, dragons coiled in waterfalls. Over 80 of them, each fight tuned to punish greed and reward patience. Your staff shifts stances mid-combo. You spellbind enemies frozen in place, and stealing a boss's form to use as your own never stops feeling incredible. It's brutal without ever feeling unfair, and gorgeous without ever slowing down. But underneath the spectacle sits an older question, whether a legend can be reborn without inheriting its rage. The Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom. Deep beneath Hyrule Castle, Link and Zelda find a mummified corpse pinned by a glowing arm, and then it opens its eyes. The floor collapses, Zelda falls into darkness, and the Master Sword shatters like glass. That's the opening. Tears of the Kingdom takes everything Breath of the Wild built and cracks it open in both directions. Ancient islands drifting in the sky above, and a vast pitch-black depths mirroring the entire map below, where light itself is a resource. But the real revolution is in your hands. Ultra Hand lets you fuse anything to anything. Build bridges, flying machines, rolling death machines with flamethrowers strapped to logs, and the game's physics just allows it. Every player solves Hyrule differently now. Fuse a boulder to a stick and suddenly weapons breaking feels like an invitation, not a punishment. Underneath the sandbox chaos runs the series' darkest story. Zelda's sacrifice, told through tears scattered across the land, builds to a final flight that had me genuinely emotional. It's the rare sequel that makes a landmark game feel like a first draft. Crimson Desert. Cliff McDuff dies in the first hour. The Greymanes, his brothers, his whole world, are torn apart in a single ambush by the Black Bears, and when he wakes in a quiet fishing village, something otherworldly has decided his story isn't finished. Crimson Desert drops you into Piewell, and honestly, few open worlds have ever felt this alive. Storms roll across old battlefields, a clockwork city hums with machine farmers, ruins drift in the sky, and you climb, glide, and grappling hook across all of it. Combat is a straight-up brawl. Parry a blade, headbutt the swordsman, then grab his friend and suplex him into the mud, and the boss fights escalate into pure chaos, dragons and warlords crashing down like weather. But the heart of it is quieter, tracking down your scattered Greymanes one by one and rebuilding the camp you lost. Watching that family come back together, watching Cliff slowly soften around them, that's where this game earns its feeling. It's messy, massive, and completely its own thing. Clair Obscur Expedition 33. Once a year, a distant figure called the Paintress wakes, paints a number on her monolith, and every single person of that age turns to petals and smoke. This year, the number is 33. Clair Obscur Expedition. 33 begins in Lumiere, a shattered Belle-Époque city where nobody grows old anymore, and grief has become a ritual. You join the expedition sworn to end it. Gustave, an engineer running out of time, 16-year-old Maëlle with nothing left to stay for, Lune, Ciel, all carrying one motto: when one falls, we continue. And trust me, this game makes them mean it, in ways I refuse to spoil. Combat is turn-based but never passive. You aim free shots, chain abilities, and parry attacks in real time, and a perfect parry against a boss feels electric every single time. The continent itself is a painted fever dream. Floating ruins, sunken cathedrals, creatures like brushstrokes given teeth, carried by a soundtrack that might be the decade's best. Underneath it all beats a story about grief and what love does when it can't let go.
You're nuts. Carve a path. Last-ditch effort.
007 First Light. An MI6 research site in Iceland goes dark, and the only man who walks out alive is a 26-year-old Navy aircrewman nobody's heard of, James Bond. That's the cold open, and from that frozen disaster, MI6 pulls him straight into the revived 00 program before he's remotely ready. This is Bond with the Polish sanded off, reckless, impulsive, bluffing through rooms he shouldn't be in, and Patrick Gibson plays him so well the movies should be taking notes. IO Interactive builds every mission like a Hitman sandbox in a tuxedo. Glittering parties, alpine chases, strongholds with a dozen ways in. Charm past a guard, cut a lock with your watch laser, ghost through the vents, or kick the door down and improvise. The real surprise is the story, a hunt for a rogue agent that spirals into questions about trust, mentors, and machines making decisions no one should let them make, with twists that genuinely land. Watching the legend assemble itself piece by piece is the whole hook.
Cover me! Reloading! Spin this on!
Can't keep up this pressure forever.
Put my sight over there! He's looking for cover! Cover! He's got him! Going in! Move to cover! Voting!
Bond, still with us? You won't get rid of me that easily.
Well, I'm glad to hear. I'm almost at the flight deck. Get here as quick as you can.
Get out! Just do my best.
Got him! He's supporting fire! My position! Hit! Watch out! I've got him!
And that's the list. 30 worlds that don't just want your time, they want a piece of you. Maybe it's Clair Obscur's grief, maybe it's Hyrule's silence, maybe it's Trevor kicking a door in. Whichever one haunts you, drop it in the comments. I read every single one. And if this list earned it, hit subscribe and ring that bell because the next journey is already loading. Until then, keep playing the stories that matter.